I can't move. This could be it for me. I'm already.
Are you giving up? Are you really my son?
You're the fourth Hokage.
You've grown up, Naruto.
Naruto, my name. But how?
How? I'm the one who named you. You're my son, after all.
Your son? Then you're...
Yep, that's right.
my dad. My dad. Why?
Naruto!
Why? Why? Why would you ever put nine tails inside your own son? How could you put me through all of that? The Akatsuki are after me! I fought with them, and then I was so lonely. But I kept it inside.
Forgive me. To leave you alone all that time must have been terrible. I suppose it's little consolation for me to wear a fatherly face and apologize after putting you through all that.
Dad.
But I'm relieved.
You're relieved?
You're bearing everyone's will. And you've grown up with a good head on your shoulders, just as I'd hoped for.
Everyone's will?
Yes. Just looking at you now, I can tell. You have the will of Jiraiya-sensei, Kakashi, the third Hokage, and all the people of the village inside of you. You're carrying it well, and you're moving forward.
You think so?
You're just like I used to be.
Like you?
That's right. I was bearing the will and wishes of all sorts of people myself. I was carrying something very valuable. Just like you are now, Naruto.
Madara Uchiha. What he did to my dad.
If I said I had no regrets, it would be a lie. Because of the mask, our village was destroyed, and as a result, I left you all alone. But, to tell you the truth, at the time, I was completely content.
How come?
Because I'd managed to protect what was most important to me.
And what would that be?
What do you think? You, Naruto. You're my son. In this world, there is nothing more valuable to me and your mother. You are very special. And you're alive and well. You can't imagine how much joy that brings to your mother and me. Now, you've got so many people counting on you, and you're moving forward with a will of iron. And for that, I'm proud of you. But listen to me. Your fight still isn't over. I know you have many trials and tribulations ahead. As your father, it saddens me that I can't go through them at your side. But Naruto, I believe in you.
I'll never lose. I'll just keep moving forward, no matter what happens. I'll never give up. I never go back on my word. That's my ninja way. After all, I am your son, right?
Right. I'm leaving the rest up to you.
Dad!
I guess it's about time. My chakra's run out.
What? You're going already?
Cheer up, son. I'll always be with you. Remember what I said. You have the will of many inside you.
Yeah.
I'll always be at your side. Always supporting you. Together, always.
There are secrets in the shinobi world so deeply buried that even the gods pretend they don't exist. One of them begins on the day Naruto Uzumaki was taken by the divine tree. Everyone believed he died. But death was never meant for someone like Naruto, because when the divine tree swallowed him whole, something impossible happened. It didn't destroy him. It didn't erase him. It didn't convert him into chakra fuel like it did to millions of lives before. The divine tree stopped, as if it hesitated, as if it recognized something inside him that no human had ever carried. Naruto's chakra wasn't normal. His soul wasn't normal. His existence was a contradiction so powerful that even a godlike organism couldn't classify him. Inside the tree, Naruto's body dissolved into pure energy, but his identity didn't fade. Instead, the divine tree analyzed him. It tried to understand him, and for the first time in countless eras, it failed. The god tree couldn't categorize Naruto Uzumaki. He wasn't predator or prey. He wasn't a threat or a vessel. He wasn't an Uzumatsuki. He wasn't a human. He was a hybrid anomaly. Ajura's reincarnation. Kurama's yin-yang host. Jinchuriki's cellular fusion. Six paths enhancement. Nature-energy compatibility. And a lifetime of emotional resilience no divine being could comprehend. The tree didn't know if it should kill him or evolve him. And in its confusion, the unavoidable happened. It adapted. It mutated. It changed its own function. Because Naruto's life force, his stubborn will to protect, was too strong to erase. The cocoon of divine light around him didn't behave like it did with others. It didn't drain him. It didn't convert him. It nurtured him. It synthesized his chakra instead of dismantling it. His mortal body was rewritten without losing its memories. His hair shifted to a pale, celestial white. His spiritual pressure transformed into a calm, benevolent aura that no Uzumatsuki had ever radiated. He wasn't becoming one of them. He was becoming something the Uzumatsuki lineage had never produced. A benevolent god. A divine being whose power was stabilizing, not destructive. A mutation of the Uzumatsuki concept. Built from compassion, not hunger. Deep within the tree, Naruto opened his eyes. Golden light flooded the dimension around him. He didn't feel pain. He didn't feel fear. He felt clarity. Every corner of the cosmos vibrated with his awakening. Hidden Uzumatsuki across distant galaxies paused, feeling a power they did not recognize. A god who felt love. A god who remembered his village. A god who still whispered the names of his children and smiled. But with this evolution came a terrifying truth. Naruto couldn't return. His new form radiated too much divinity. If he stepped into the mortal world without restraint, he would warp reality, alter gravity, and crush the world under the weight of his existence. So he tried to compress it. Once, twice, 1,000 times. Each attempt shattered the dimension around him like glass. The pressure of his sealed divinity nearly tore the realm apart. But he didn't stop. Because Naruto Uzumaki never gives up. He shaped his chakra like the Rasengan. He shaped his divinity like a jutsu. He condensed a sun into a human heart. And when the divine energy finally stabilized inside him, when the impossible became real, Naruto tore open the pathway home. When he stepped into the world again, the sky reacted first. Clouds spiraled into gold. Thunder rumbled softly, like the world recognized its protector. Animals felt warmth. Children smiled without reason. Plants bloomed out of season. Naruto's presence wasn't destruction. It was comfort. It was balance. His body glowed gently, divine but human, transcendent but grounded. A god wearing a mortal shell for the people he loved. But such an anomaly couldn't go unnoticed. Far beyond the mortal sky, fractures split open. Light poured through. The true Uzumatsuki, the primordials, descended. Not out of hatred, but out of fear. A benevolent god could break the cycle. A protector could disrupt the predatory order. Naruto looked up calmly, unshaken. He didn't raise a fist. He didn't summon a jutsu. He didn't show aggression. He simply said, "If power exists, it exists to protect the ones you love." And when Sasuke appeared at his side, his Susanoo resonating with Naruto's divine aura, the primordials realized something horrifying. This world didn't just produce a god. It produced two anomalies. Two forces in perfect resonance. Light and shadow, aligned by choice. Their combined strike tore the sky apart, repelling the primordials and forcing them to retreat into the fractures between dimensions. Not defeated, but afraid. The world was safe. For now. Because far beyond the stars, another presence stirred. Older than the primordials. Older than chakra. Older than the tree. A presence watching Naruto with curiosity. The story wasn't over. It had only transformed. Naruto Uzumaki had returned to the world. Not as a Hokage, but as the first god of compassion in a universe built on predation. And the universe would never be the same again. Naruto's return should have restored balance. At least, that's what everyone believed. But balance is a fragile thing. Especially when a new god, a god born of compassion, steps into a universe ruled by predators. The world welcomed him. The sky warmed. People felt safe, even without understanding why. But the universe panicked. Because Naruto's presence created a paradox. A divine being who refused the Uzumatsuki cycle. A god who chose love over dominance. A mutation that could rewrite the purpose of divinity itself. The primordials retreated after their first contact. Not defeated, but stunned. Shaken. And in their absence, something even more dangerous awakened. The divine memory. White Medium Star 1. The world starts changing around Naruto. Naruto didn't intend for the world to change. But divinity is not something you control. It is something the universe reacts to. Where Naruto walked, grass grew greener. Water purified itself. Old scars on the land healed. Shinobi recovering in hospitals felt sudden warmth, as though someone had placed a gentle hand over their hearts. Animals approached Naruto without fear. Children felt compelled to smile near him. Even storms avoided his presence, curving away mid-sky. These weren't miracles. These were side effects of the seal he had created to compress his divinity into a human shell. And yet, even sealed, his power leaked. Not violently, but softly, instinctively. This was the first sign of the divine paradox. Naruto was becoming the natural center of balance. A gravitational point of harmony the world had never experienced. And the universe hated harmony. White Medium Star 2. Sasuke notices something terrifying. Sasuke was the first to sense the danger. Not from the sky. Not from the Uzumatsuki. From Naruto. Days after Naruto's return, Sasuke found him meditating near the remnants of the divine tree. A place that had gone dry and gray after coughing Naruto back into existence. Naruto sat alone, glowing faintly even with his seal activated. Sasuke approached carefully. "You're leaking again." Naruto opened his eyes, confused. "Leaking what?" Sasuke narrowed his gaze. "Reality." Naruto blinked. "What?" Sasuke formed a hand seal and activated his space-time perception technique, something only a wielder of God-touched dojutsu could do. And the truth appeared. Space around Naruto was bending. Not breaking. Not cracking. But bending. Like the world wanted to move around him in the most gentle way possible. Like nature was adjusting to him. Like time itself was giving him room to breathe. Sasuke exhaled sharply. Dobe, you're pulling the world toward you. Naruto looked at his own hands, horrified. What do you mean? Sasuke stepped closer. You're becoming a center of gravity. Not physical gravity. Spiritual gravity. Before Naruto could respond, Sasuke added, and that means they're coming again. Because the universe just felt you shift. Naruto's heart sank. White Medium Star 3. The Uzumatsuki are not the only ones watching. The primordials had retreated after their first encounter. They were gathering forces, analyzing the new anomaly, preparing the correction. But they were not alone. In the deepest layer of the cosmos, beyond the origin realm, beyond the raw existence of the Uzumatsuki, something older stirred. A consciousness not bound by the cycle. A being from before the first harvest. Before chakra. Before even the god tree. A presence known only by one forbidden name. The First Light. It had no body, no clan, no form. It was not Uzumatsuki. It was not God. It was something the universe itself had forgotten, erased by cycles of predation and rebirth. But Naruto's existence. Naruto's compassion. Naruto's refusal to dominate. Those things awoke it. A gentle, ancient voice murmured through the void. A child of hope. Born from the tree. Fascinating. For the first time in countless eons, the First Light turned its gaze toward the world of shinobi. And smiled. White Medium Star 4. Boruto feels it before anyone else. Boruto didn't know why he had been restless since his father's return. He couldn't explain why the air seemed thicker. Why time felt slower. Why Mamoshiki's voice, usually intrusive and mocking, went silent. Completely silent. One night, Boruto woke up gasping. His karma mark was glowing. Mamoshiki's voice whispered, trembling. That presence should not exist. Boruto sat up, startled. What are you afraid of, Dad? Mamoshiki didn't answer. But Boruto felt the fear inside him. A primal fear. A fear that shook the DNA of a god. Because Mamoshiki, for the first time, sensed something stronger than the Uzumatsuki. Something outside their cycle. Something that threatened their very nature. He sensed Naruto. Not the Hokage. Not the hero. But the benevolent god the divine tree created. The anomaly. The paradox. The first being in the universe who could end the Uzumatsuki cycle forever. Mamoshiki hissed. He must be stopped, or the Uzumatsuki will cease to exist. Boruto clenched his fists. Then I'll protect him. Mamoshiki froze. Protect. A god. Boruto glared into the darkness. He's still my father. White Medium Star 5. The universe shifts. The war of creation approaches. As Naruto tried to learn how to live again, the world changed subtly. Some animals gained new abilities. Shinobi found themselves healing faster. Natural disasters stopped abruptly. Old wounds in chakra networks repaired themselves. The veil between dimensions thinned. Every change was gentle. Every change was positive. But the primordials didn't see harmony. They saw insubordination. A threat. A god rewriting the fundamental laws of the universe not through force, but through kindness. They whispered across the cosmic network. An anomaly born of love cannot be allowed to exist. Prepare the process. The cycle must be restored. Reality shivered. A shadow descended from the highest layer of existence. The correction had begun. Naruto felt it instantly. Sasuke sensed it too. Boruto's karma burned. The world held its breath. Naruto stood tall, his divine seal glowing softly against his chest. Sasuke stepped beside him. Boruto approached from the shadows, eyes full of fear and determination. Naruto looked at both of them and spoke quietly, like a promise. Whatever comes next, we face it together. And far beyond the sky, the first light whispered. The cycle breaks here. The war of creation was coming, and Naruto was at its center. The universe prepares for a war it cannot survive. The night after Naruto sensed the incoming correction, the sky above the shinobi world changed. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. Stars shifted into new positions. Constellations bent as if gravity were being rewritten. Even the moon flickered, disappearing for half a second before reappearing in the wrong place. To the average person, it looked like an atmospheric anomaly. To the Uzumatsuki, it was a message. The primordials had begun the process. A procedure older than chakra, older than the god tree, older than even the first Uzumatsuki civilization. The process existed for one reason: to erase anomalies that threatened the cosmic cycle. And Naruto Uzumaki had become the greatest anomaly in the history of the universe. White Medium Star 1. The first light watches from beyond existence. In a realm beyond time, beyond form, beyond the Uzumatsuki themselves, something ancient awakened fully. The first light. A consciousness older than the first god tree. A being that drifted between concepts. Not alive, not dead, but eternally present. It had witnessed the birth of countless universes. It had watched the Uzumatsuki rise from primitive energy parasites to cosmic tyrants. It had watched the cycle of consumption repeat hundreds of times. But never, not once, had it seen a soul like Naruto's. A soul that survived the divine tree not by resisting, but by resonating. A soul that turned assimilation into transformation. Death into metamorphosis. The first light floated within the emptiness and whispered, "A child of hope who defies the cycle." Perhaps the universe has chosen differently this time. This ancient being didn't serve the Uzumatsuki. It didn't oppose them, either. It was a witness, a historian, a custodian of cosmic truth. And now, for the first time since creation, it felt something like curiosity. I must see how far this anomaly will go. Its gaze, though it had no eyes, turned toward the mortal world, toward Naruto, toward Sasuke, toward Boruto, toward the coming storm. White Medium Star 2. Naruto begins to see what mortals cannot. Naruto walked the forests near Konoha the next morning. He wasn't trying to train. He wasn't trying to meditate. He wasn't trying to hide. He was simply trying to breathe. But the world around him had changed. Every leaf glowed with faint chakra patterns, patterns he never saw before. Every stream carried ripples of energy that pulsed like a heartbeat. Every stone had threads of fate tied to it, stretching outward like invisible strings. It wasn't the world that changed. It was Naruto's perception. His divine senses saw the blueprint beneath reality, the chakra signature of life forms miles away, the resonance between souls, the emotional fields of animals and humans, the weak spots in space-time, and the branches of destiny that shifted with each choice. It was overwhelming, but not painful. It was like seeing the truth behind a painting, the strokes behind the art. Naruto whispered, "So this is what gods see." He didn't feel pride. He felt responsibility. White Medium Star 3. Sasuke fearlessly confronts the truth. Sasuke approached him without hesitation. "You're seeing more than before." Naruto nodded. "It's like, the world is transparent." Sasuke kept his gaze fixed on Naruto, analyzing every fluctuation of his aura. "You're stabilizing. That's good." Naruto smiled weakly. "But it's not enough, is it?" Sasuke sighed. "No. Because the world is stabilizing around you, and the universe hates stability." Naruto turned to face him fully. "Sasuke, what are you really worried about?" Sasuke hesitated, which Naruto instantly noticed. Then Sasuke said the thing he'd been afraid to admit. "I'm worried that the primordials won't come to destroy you." Naruto frowned. "Then what?" Sasuke looked up at the sky, his expression cold, calculating. "That they'll come to convert you." Naruto froze. Because Sasuke was right. The primordials didn't just erase anomalies. They assimilated them. Naruto's divinity was not just a threat. It was a resource. A resource that could evolve the Uzumatsuki cycle beyond anything they had ever known. And that made Naruto the most valuable and dangerous being in existence. White Medium Star 4. Boruto learns the terrifying truth about his father. Elsewhere, Boruto trained alone. The karma mark burned him more than usual. Momoshiki whispered inside his mind. Your father's presence. It warps the laws of our existence. Boruto clenched his teeth. You're scared of him. Momoshiki hissed. Fear is irrelevant. What matters is preservation. Boruto stopped moving. Preservation of what? Momoshiki answered with something Boruto never expected. Of the Uzumatsuki species. Silence fell. Then Boruto whispered. Dad's that powerful? Momoshiki's tone turned grave. He is becoming something beyond divinity. A being that can rewrite the purpose of gods. Boruto tightened his fists, eyes full of pride and dread. Then he said the words that sealed his future. Then I'll fight with him. Even if that means fighting the universe. Momoshiki stayed silent for a long moment. Then whispered. You may regret that resolve. White Medium Star 5. The primordials finally move. And then it happened. A ripple crossed the sky. Invisible to mortals, unmistakable to anyone touched by divinity. Naruto felt it like a strike to the heart. Sasuke felt it like a blade across dimensions. Boruto felt it like a whisper against his soul. A voice, ancient, cold, emotionless, echoed across the world. The process begins now. The sky darkened. Not from clouds, but from dimensional layers peeling away. A colossal shadow formed overhead. Not one being, but many. A council of primordial Uzumatsuki. Their combined presence crushed the air, bent gravity, and made even the forests tremble. Naruto took a step forward. Sasuke moved beside him. Boruto appeared behind them, karma glowing bright. Naruto whispered. So this is it. Sasuke muttered. We fight together. Boruto added. And we don't lose. Behind them, the world began to fracture, like a mirror reflecting too much light. Above them, the primordials descended. Ahead of them, destiny shifted. And far beyond the stars, the first light finally stood. Watching. Silent. Waiting. The war of creation had begun. And nothing would ever be the same again. The war of creation begins. The moment the primordials descended, the entire world felt it, even those without chakra. Birds froze mid-flight. Rivers paused as if holding their breath. Children began crying without knowing why. Animals hid beneath the earth. The air thickened, heavy enough to warp sound. Gravity flickered like a dying flame. The sky dimmed, not into night, but into something deeper, as though the concept of light itself were struggling to exist. And then, for the first time in history, the 10 directions of reality aligned. Every Uzumatsuki, dead or alive, would have recognized this as the sign of cosmic judgment. The cycle had begun. The process was underway. And the universe had come to correct the anomaly that called itself Naruto Uzumaki. White Medium Star 1. The Council of Primordials unveils itself. Above the world, countless silhouettes formed. They were not bodies, not beings, not even spirits. They were concepts given shape. Mathematical structures woven from pure law. Latticeworks of equations. Geometry older than matter. The Council of Primordials, the architects of existence, had come. Not by choice. By necessity. Naruto Uzumaki's very existence had broken the cosmic algorithm. The largest of the primordials spoke, its voice echoing through every mind, bypassing language, bypassing thought. Anomaly detected. The mortal cycle has been compromised. A second. Judgment must be enacted. A third. Prepare the correction. Their presence made the air vibrate, the ground tremble, and time hesitate. But beneath their overwhelming aura, Three figures stood unbroken. Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto. Three anomalies, united. White medium star 2. Naruto takes the first step. Naruto closed his eyes. He didn't transform. He didn't summon chakra. He didn't unleash any jutsu. He simply breathed. And with that single breath, the world stabilized. Mountains stopped shaking. Wind calmed. Gravity aligned. Not because Naruto forced it. Because the world trusted him. His presence radiated warmth. A warmth the primordials could not understand. He opened his eyes slowly, gently, like a man waking from a dream. His voice echoed across the battlefield. Before you try to correct anything, answer me this. The primordials paused, not in fear, but in confusion. Naruto continued. Why do you destroy worlds? The sky itself seemed to freeze. The primordials hummed in unison. Worlds are not destroyed. Worlds are harvested. Naruto's gaze hardened. And what about the people living in them? Irrelevant. Sasuke's Susanoo arm flared. Boruto clenched his fists. Naruto whispered, anger simmering beneath sadness. Then you truly don't understand life. The primordials replied. Life is a phase. The cycle is eternal. Naruto stepped forward, glowing softly. Well, I guess the cycle ends here. White medium star 3. Sasuke evolves again, the resonance of shadow and light. As the primordials shifted into attack formation, reality around Naruto and Sasuke bent like melted glass. Sasuke stepped beside Naruto without hesitation. The violet gold Susanoo arm pulsed, then grew. Light spiraled around it. Patterns formed along its surface. And in a single flash of cosmic brilliance, Sasuke's aura expanded into a new divine Susanoo, still incomplete but far beyond anything he had ever achieved. Not born from hatred. Not born from revenge. Born from resonance with Naruto's benevolent divinity. Sasuke's Rinnegan vibrated violently, syncopating with Naruto's new godly eyes. He muttered under his breath. Damn you, Naruto. You always drag me into impossible evolutions. Naruto grinned softly. Couldn't do it without you. Sasuke clicked his tongue. Don't get sentimental. But his smirk betrayed him. White medium star 4. Boruto unlocks the karma revelation. Boruto stepped forward, karma blazing. But this time, Momoshiki didn't speak. Instead, the mark expanded across Boruto's arm, not in black, but in a deep, shimmering blue. A new pattern emerged. A symbol never recorded in Uzumatsuki lore. And Momoshiki finally whispered, shaken. Impossible. That pattern belongs to the original Uzumatsuki, the ones who predate even the primordials. Boruto froze. The originals? What originals? Momoshiki hesitated, actually hesitated, before speaking. The ones the primordials erased. The ones who tried to stop the cycle. Boruto's eyes widened. You're saying? Yes. Momoshiki hissed. Your father's mutation comes from them. Boruto's heartbeat thundered in his ears. Naruto wasn't just an anomaly. He was a successor, perhaps even the reincarnation, of the very beings the primordials feared most. Boruto stepped forward, karma glowing like a dying star. Then I'm fighting too. White medium star 5. The first attack. The laws of reality strike. The primordials raised their hands, and the world shattered. Not physically, conceptually. The laws governing motion, gravity, chakra, perception, energy were rewritten in real time. The battlefield warped into an impossible landscape. Mountains floated upside down. Rivers flowed into the sky. Color lost meaning. Silence gained sound. Naruto raised a hand instinctively. A sphere of golden stability formed around him, a sanctuary cutting through the chaos. Sasuke stood inside it, Susanoo roaring. Boruto stood beside them, karma blazing. The primordials spoke. Correction begins. They unleashed a blast of pure law. Not energy, not chakra, but conceptual deletion. Naruto moved first. Gently, peacefully, he placed his hand into the beam. And instead of being erased, he rewrote it. The deletion became creation. The destruction became harmony. The cycle bent around him. The primordials recoiled violently. The anomaly rewrites law. Unacceptable. Begin phase 2. Sasuke muttered. I think we made them angry. Boruto smirked despite the fear. Good. Let them be angry. Naruto stepped forward, divine aura flaring. No more cycles. No more harvests. No more suffering. He looked at the primordials with compassion. The one thing they could not understand. This ends now. White medium star 6. Far beyond the universe, the first light rises. And in the deepest layer of the cosmos, a world without form, without light, without time. The first light opened fully. Its presence illuminated the void. It whispered, at last, a successor has arrived. The ancient being began to descend toward the mortal realm, not to destroy, not to judge, but to join the conflict. The war of creation had officially begun. And soon, the battle would surpass even the primordials. Naruto's greatest enemy wasn't the Uzumatsuki. It wasn't the primordials. It was the origin they all came from. The first light. The oldest being in existence. The one who knew why the cycle existed. And why Naruto's compassion threatened everything. The day the universe changed forever. The primordials gathered in the sky, their forms twisting between geometry and light, each one embodying laws older than existence itself. The process had begun, and reality was starting to buckle under their influence. Naruto, Sasuke y Boruto permanecium lado a lado, pequeños como sombras em comparqueo a grandiosidade cósmica acima deles. Mas nenem deles duum passo atrás. Porque naquele momento, tres figuras mordes carregavam mais esperança do que todos os universos já criados. E isso era o que os primordials mais temiam. White medium star 1. The first light descends. The moment the primordials initiated phase 2, the sky split again, but this time the tear wasn't violent. It was beautiful. A soft radiance, white, warm, ancient, seeped through the crack in reality. It didn't devour. It didn't distort. It didn't enforce the cycle. It simply was. The primordials recoiled instantly. The first light approaches. This is beyond protocol. Halt the process. But it was too late. A shape formed in the sky. Not human. Not divine. Not definable. It looked like the first sunrise. Like a memory of warmth from before the universe existed. Naruto felt his chest tighten. What are you? The first light didn't speak with sound. It spoke with presence. I am what existed before the cycle. Before harvests. Before gods. Before the first chakra seed. Boruto's karma mark burned violently. Sasuke's vision blurred, his eyes unable to process the being's true form. And then the first light said the words that changed everything. Naruto Uzumaki. Do you know why you were chosen? Naruto froze. Chosen? By who? The first light responded. Not by the tree. Not by the Uzumatsuki. Not by destiny. A soft pulse radiated outward. You were chosen by the universe itself. The primordials trembled. Blasphemy. The universe has no will. The anomaly distorts even the first. The first light ignored them. Your compassion rewrote the tree. Your hope destabilized the cycle. You are the first being to evolve beyond the Uzumatsuki without hunger. Naruto stepped forward, eyes shining. I don't want to destroy anything. I just want to protect what matters. The first light pulsed gently. Precisely. And that is why they fear you. The primordials moved instantly, attacking before the first light could speak again. White medium star 2. The final battle begins. Time fractured. Gravity inverted. Space collapsed into spirals. The primordials unleashed attacks not meant to kill matter, but to erase concepts. Naruto raised his hands, forming a shield of golden energy, bending reality instead of resisting it. Sasuke's divine Susanoo roared to life, taking blows that would shatter galaxies. Boruto's karma erupted in blue flames, channeling an energy older than the gods. The first light floated behind them, watching silently. Because this wasn't its war to fight. This was humanity's. The primordials struck again. Harder, faster, rewriting the battlefield into impossible shapes. But Naruto's voice cut through the chaos. I won't let you rewrite this world. I won't let you erase anyone. And I definitely won't let you take my family. Golden light exploded outward. Not violent. Not destructive. Restorative. For the first time in history, creation overwhelmed deletion. White Medium Star 3. The god who refused the throne. Naruto rose into the air, glowing like a second sun. His hair turned entirely white. His eyes formed a new symbol, a soft, harmonic pattern that wasn't Uzumatsuki or human. A symbol of balance. The primordials attacked together, a beam of pure law meant to collapse his existence. Naruto didn't block it. He embraced it. The beam hit him, and instead of erasing him, it changed color. From white to gold. Naruto converted destruction into protection. Sasuke stared in disbelief. That idiot. He actually did it. Boruto smirked. Of course he did. He's dad. The primordials screamed. The paradox is complete. The anomaly rewrites the cycle. Unacceptable. Naruto reached out with both hands. Then let me rewrite something else. Light surged. A wave of golden aura stretched across the sky, and the primordials began to dissolve. Not erased. Not killed. Transformed. Their forms lost rigidity, gaining harmony. Their laws rearranged into balance rather than domination. The first light whispered proudly. You have done what even the originals could not. Naruto lowered his hands, breath heavy but smile soft. I just did what felt right. White Medium Star 4. The universe changes forever. The primordials were gone. The process was stopped. The cycle was broken. And the universe felt lighter. For the first time in eons, the cosmos felt free. Naruto floated gently back to the ground. Sasuke stepped forward, crossing his arms, pretending not to be impressed. TCH, show off. Boruto ran toward Naruto, eyes shining. Dad, are you okay? Naruto knelt down, placing a hand on his son's shoulder. I am now. Then he looked up at the first light. So what happens next? The first light's glow dimmed softly. You will live your life. Not as a god. Not as a weapon. But as the bridge between worlds. Naruto swallowed. And the universe will learn to live without the cycle. Because of you. The first light began to fade. Farewell, child of hope. Naruto whispered. Thank you. White Medium Star 5. The final scene. The future begins. The sky cleared. Nature healed. The cracks in reality sealed themselves naturally, as if the world had exhaled after a long nightmare. Boruto smiled through tears. Sasuke smirked, turning away. And Naruto? Naruto stood tall, with white hair glowing softly in the wind, balance radiating from every fiber of his being. Not a god. Not a mortal. Something new. Something the universe had never seen before. A guardian. A protector born from compassion, not hunger. The divine paradox. Naruto Uzumaki. He whispered into the wind. This world. My family. My friends. My son. He closed his eyes. I'll protect them all. And with that, the story ended. No cliffhanger. No unanswered threat. No lingering doom. Just a new universe born from hope. A universe shaped by Naruto Uzumaki. The god who chose to be human. The human who changed the gods.